name is Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring that little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And you know, I have to tell you, I just experienced something that I wished Matthew Vaughn, the director of this movie, who's a very good director, had experienced. I recorded. This is the second time I'm recording this review. The first opening minutes of the review, I got about 3 or 4 minutes in, and I scratched my nose. And I looked down my hand. And I saw I felt this kind of something gooey there. Like, what's going on? I had this huge booger hanging out my nose. I was like, maybe I can just front this out and talk. No, I'm re-recording. But if I would just plan beforehand and I check my nose for boogers before I started recording, I wouldn't have to re-record this. In the same way, this movie, which is highly entertaining in many, many ways, and would have been an 8.5 or a 9 out of 10. It really, there's a lot to recommend it. There is one giant booger in the script that absolutely destroys this movie. It's 40 minutes. The plot point, 40 minutes from the end of the movie, and it absolutely destroys the movie. And it's so entertaining and so fun and so good, both before and after that, right? But there shouldn't really be anything after that. I'm not going to spoil it for you. At least I'm not going to spoil it for you right here. If I talk about it, I will give you plenty of spoiler warning. But man, there should have been somebody in the production somewhere that looked at this and went, no, we can't. This is such an insanely terrible idea, right? But sadly, no one did. I didn't have anybody come to me and say, Tzvi, maybe before you record this review, you want to check, see if you've got any boogers hanging out of it. Nobody did that for me either. But then again, this isn't a multi-million-dollar, endeavor. This is me sitting in my basement screaming into my camera. Swings around. But anyway, can you hit the like button? That'd be really, really nice. Again, I'm sorry, I'm not giving you the booger shot, but can you like it anyway? Can you hit the share button? That'd be lovely too. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think. Have you seen this movie? Are you considering seeing this movie? Will this review push you either way? The only reason I'm really seeing it because it was free, right? It was on HBO Max, so it wasn't really free. Now, like, share, subscribe, comment. Substack. Sign up to my Substack. It's a free email newsletter. I put out a bunch of comics on there. I put my stuff. I put out of print stuff. Like there's the Blake 7 comics. I'm putting out there. I get just a bunch of stuff. And I've also put out out of print books, like the New Adventures Doctor Who books from the 90s. So yeah, and also I let you know about all the content going on. Also, I have a paid one. Now, my paid one, I was going to put out my new comic on there, which is Crown of the Empire, which is freaking awesome. But I've had a crazy couple of months, right? I have been busy beyond busy. And my son's been banging on at me about NFTs. What are NFTs? NFTs are digital files. They're basically image files. It could be anything, but they're unique. They have the same uniqueness apparently as a physical object. So I'm going to be putting out sets of cards to the subscribers of NFTs, much like this. The male gaze cards. This is wonderful. Forces for you. What other ones do I have here? What's that James Bond one? Oh, yeah. A bit of a James Bondy one that's fitting a spy movie, right? So each one of these will be unique to every individual subscriber. And as I don't have many subscribers right now, the ones that be more valuable are the early ones because there's going to be less of those. So this is kind of like a new crypto. This is my son has been banging on about. It says they're essentially like a new cryptocurrency. Once you start trading them, they accrue in value. Okay, so I hope so. So if you sign up to my paid one, it's $5 a month. You're going to get free NFTs, which hopefully will do as well as Bitcoin. Right? Just hold on to them for 20 years, and they'll be worth like $60 billion each. One can only hope. Although I have to tell you, I have a neighbor who was huge, big into the trading card industry. He bought Pokemon to Israel. And I was like, what do you think about these? He's like, I don't know. I don't understand it at all. But they're making money. So whatever. I don't know. So like, share, subscribe, comment, Substack, all those things are good things. And something else that was a good thing mostly was the Kingsman, right? So it's a very, very clever script and a very, very, very knowledgeable script. And apart from this massive plot point, it's a really super fun script, doing something really new and interesting, right? So, starts off, we have Ralph Fiennes is basically he's reprising his role as Steed from the Avengers and trying to get a do-over of that. And he experiences a huge personal tragedy because of the Boer War in South Africa. And that is basically his motivation throughout the movie, to be this kind of pacifist, but also this massive the guy who sets up the Secret Service, the guy who sets up the Kingsman. So the story moves to about 15 or so years later, and it's the eve of World War One now, and knowledge of 1914 politics is good, because I know a little bit. I know a few splatterings of stuff, and everything does kind of like dovetail into this. We have like an evil, kind of a Dr. Evil, Blofeld-esque criminal mastermind behind an evil shadow government that puts forth everything terrible that happened, happened in history in their pursuit of controlling and destroying the world. But essentially, it's Ralph Fiennes and his son. Who plays his son? Is it Matthew Good or let me look at the cast. It is Harris Dickinson. I've never heard of him. Never heard of him before. So he's the son. He's a very like posh lord. That's why he gets into everywhere. And he's like kind of an aristocratic spy network. He's got a cane, which has got a sword in it. It basically is John Steed in 1914, right? And again, the more you know about 1914 politics, the better it is. The better. So what really ensues is a great story of daring do and adventure with incredible incredible set sequences and just wonderful, exhilarating fight sequences that go on for a while, right? And they're very kinetically directed, and they just work. They just work completely, and it's something new and different that I haven't really seen before, and I really like it. So I think somebody really worth mentioning about this is Reef Evans, who I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right. He plays Rasputin. So he is the second great cinematic Rasputin. The first, of course, was Tom Baker. What's that name of his movie it was in? So Rasputin is the Mad Monk, and I knew a lot from folklore that that he was assassinated and they poisoned and stabbed and shot him. But there's this incredible fight sequence with all the good guys. This is Ralph Fiennes, his son, Harrison Dickinson, Conrad, who else is it? Demijohn Hansson, was that Hansu, who is his butler and swordsman. It's fantastic in it, and Gemma, was it Atterod? Is that her name? Gemma Atterod, who's basically, her character is kind of weird. She's Lord Oxford, Ralph Fiennes' maid, and also the person in charge of the spy network, Polly Watkins, but she comes across more like Daphne from Frasier, right? She basically has that role. She has the Daphne role with Frasier in this. Charles Dance is also in it, but again, Reef Evans as Rasputin, fantastic. I mean, that's worth the price of entry in of itself. So there's lots of like history and politics playing out as they try to stop the First World War or end the First World War and bring America into the war, and how the war happens. And it talks about how the fall of the Russian Empire into the Soviet Empire, and the geopolitics of World War One, which sounds boring as hell, but is just fun and incredibly iconic. So, spoiler warning, big spoiler warning right now, right? So most of the movie is about Ralph Fiennes' relationship with his son. He wants to protect his son from war, from being killed in war, and his son really desperately wants to go to war, because he's a very, a brave, heroic person. And I'm loving this movie, right? And I love it that he goes to the war, and you see masculine heroism, and it's great, right? And you don't really see that so much anymore. It was really good. And then again, spoiler warning, right? after doing some incredibly, incredible heroic action and getting the piece of intelligence they need that will end the war, bring America into the war, right? He then, spoiler warning, okay? I don't know if I can say this loudly enough, spoiler warning. He then gets killed, right? He gets killed in a really stupid, pointless way and ends up in an unmarked grave somewhere in France. And this should have absolutely destroyed Ralph Fiennes' character. And it does for about 10 minutes. But then Gemma, Ateron comes in and says, "Book your ideas up," and basically is Daphne to him. And he's back doing being a spy again. And then you have another great action fight sequence. And it's so jarring. It's so incredibly jarring because the death of this character is absolutely devastating, right? It's absolutely, and you can't go back to having fun again at that point. It just doesn't work. So yeah, I just wish they could have taken out that plot point, right? It was so incredible. I assumed he was going to be shown to actually survive somehow, and I was like, what? He didn't? And I just cannot believe it. Which is, like, again, massive pity because it's so much fun. There's so much about this movie that is fun, that's worth watching. Is it recommend? Listen, if you have HBO Max or Disney Plus or wherever it's on, it's worth the watch. It's fun. It is fun. Just know going in that for some insane reason they decided to kill this central character. I think that he's trying to talk about the futility of war and how people are killed for no reason in war. And yeah, we get it. Listen, mate, I'm filming this on Wednesday, March 9th, when we're really marching to nuclear war, right? There's tens of thousands of people being killed in Ukraine, and my heart goes out to everybody there. I'm not taking sides because I don't know what the hell's going on, but war is very, very bad. I'm not particularly happy that my kids have to serve in an army because we're surrounded by people who want to kill us, right? So yeah, war is not a good thing, and I think we've forgotten that in this generation, which I think Matthew Vaughn is trying to communicate with this. It just falls very flat. It's like it is a massive clanger. Right, is an absolute massive clanger, and a real pity. Right, again, there's a bunch of lore set up with the Kingsman tailor shop we see in there as well. But basically, for me, this entire movie is overshadowed by this character's death, which is again crushing shame. Because other than that, they'll do something new, fun, and interesting. And boy, do we need new, fun, and interesting, right? We really need new, fun, and interesting. Last thing to mention is Charles Dance is very good as Lord Kitchener. And who else? Tom Hollander plays a triple role of Kaiser Wilhelm, Tsar Nicholas, and King George, who I had no idea we're all raised together. And it gives you an idea of like the inbredness of turn of the century politics. I don't really think it's finished, but it's changed much today. I think, if anything, we live kind of in Hunger Games today. They lived in Hunger Games then, and the parallels are good. So, do I want to see another one of these movies? Nah, not really. I mean, looking at compared to Matthew Vaughn's other movies, let's look at it. It's better than the Kingsman Golden Circle. Not as good as Kingsman. Not as good as X-Men First Class. Not as good as Kick-Ass, not as good as Layer Cake, and not as good as Stardust, right? Yeah, it's just, again, it's amazing. One plot point will destroy a movie, which is the lesson that we take away from this. What a shame, if I may quote Gordon Ramsay. What a shame, could have been great. Anyway, is it a recommend? Yeah, I wouldn't go out and buy it, but if it was on telly, it's worth watching. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.